Now, Graydon Carter should have been an ally of Meghan. That's someone that she would have sought approval from, because even Vanity Fair editor. Another person that my understanding is she sought friendship with and approval from is Gwyneth Paltrow. I think in many ways she's modelled a lot of the work that she's done over the last 6 months to a year on Gwyneth Paltrow and her Goop. Very, very famous and very, very successful.
I think Gwyneth Paltrow is famous because of Shakespeare in Love, for which she won an Oscar. And Meghan's famous for just marrying a prince. That's the difference. One, and she was very established. And Gwyneth Paltrow, I think that thing thing she launched is worth millions now, and it's followed greatly. But whether Meghan, with a new podcast and this show she's done, In Love, and whether that takes off, I don't know. But there's she's got 2.5 million followers on Instagram, so there'll be a lot of people buy the clothes she wants to help sell. And I think the clothes are pretty boring and very expensive, what they are. But people think, oh, Meghan wore this, I'm going to buy it, And it's the same with our princess here, Catherine. I mean, everything she wore sold out. In fact, she's recently stopped giving out who made the clothes and anything to do with the clothes. It's almost like she got a tip that what Meghan was going to do and she wasn't going to do the same. But in fact, when Catherine wears an outfit, I mean, sort of stunning in it. I mean, it does sell out. I mean, it's just a matter of fact. So whatever Meghan puts on that site, whatever clothes she wears, a pair of sandals for 300 quid or a dress for $1,000, people will buy it and she will get a rake off from that. And it's a business. But the fact is, she's trying hard to make because obviously a sort of podcasts were not very great, and the movie she made, the videos she's made are not that great. Maybe she'll do well selling clothes, but who knows? I think she can't compare herself to Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow was a magnificent actress and well known and did it all on her own. She never needed marry some famous person. She married a very famous person. She married a band leader,
Chris Martin from Coldplay, and her parents are very famous. I will say Gwyneth Paltrow is a Nepo baby, but has done very well.
Yeah, great actress, yeah.
The Gwyneth Paltrow one I'm in two minds about, because, I mean, we've spoken about this on the show. Clearly, you have a vision of if you're launching a new brand, you have people you'll draw inspiration from. And there's no doubt that Meghan would have considered Gwyneth Paltrow's very successful empire, I think it's worth $200 million. She would have considered that as a sort of, template of what could be possible for her.
And the fact is, she was only ever in Vanity Fair because she was having, seeing Prince Harry, and she looked like she was, she grabbed him, and she was, and that's the reason, and she should be grateful for that.
So is this comment from Graydon Carter, as I say, is the ex-editor of Vanity Fair, but a very well-respected journalist. Is this just stating the obvious, or is it hugely damaging to Meghan Markle?
I would say that off the back of, you go back 2017, she's on the cover. It's a very gushing piece about Meghan. We then go to January this year and Vanity Fair released that tell-all sort of article that was very damaging to her, with the bullying allegations resurfacing and giving this idea of her and Harry being a bit directionless in business. I think it's not the turning point, but it's certainly unhelpful because it's a big US publication that she would have traditionally been favoured by, and now it just kind of indicates again, I know he doesn't work for them anymore, but he did for many years, decades. And so it's again just that idea that she's kind of fallen out of favour. Yeah,
and this is a story that I'm struggling to get my head around. Although I've written about it this week, I still can't quite understand. Meghan can someone explain to me what's actually happening? Meghan is sharing links to clothes that she likes, and then if those clothes are bought, she makes money off them?
So it's an affiliate link. I think it's linked through Instagram. I believe it's a program that is actually part of Instagram's business, which is the things that are posted on her page, the outfits she's wearing in those clips, they are then linked. So if you're watching, if you go to Meghan's page and you think, wow, I've got to buy this shirt and buy this, and it's all there on her page, you're then able to just click on this one link that has everything there, that then you click through to the fashion brand or wherever, and you can buy it, but then Meghan will get a cut out of that if you purchase it via that link. You still look just as confused.
I'm still very confused.
Shopping is a very big,
why.
it's a big thing, it's complex. But yeah, so she gets a cut of it. If people go to her page and look for the clothes she's wearing through that link, she will get a cut of that, which is a very standard practice with influencers and celebrities.
What do you think, Bronte? Do you think she'll make money out of that?
You said it before. I think. Look, you're not going to click on it if you don't like Meghan and if you don't like what she wears. And there's certainly a population of that group. However, a lot of people do. So they're the ones that are going to be clicking on it. And she does have a big fan base that are very passionate. So, and that's who she's obviously appealing to here. So, I don't know. I don't know how much of a cut they get. That's a crucial element.
10% I read somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, if they're successful, well, she's had a go at it, and you've got to give her sort of credit for that, in my view. It's not such a. If everybody does it, why shouldn't she?
It's also just the final sort of part of that transformation into an influencer. They all do that.
But then she's supposed to be a duchess of the royal family. Should they be doing that? I don't know.
But I mean, she's been criticised, I think. Why? Is it mainly because she posted that image with Lilibet and Archie just a couple of minutes before?
I think that you've just touched on it then as well. There's this real identity crisis. It's like, who is she?
Yeah.
She didn't want the kids to be on display in the royal family, which I think a lot of parents understand to a point. But then she's launched the Instagram and she's using the kids, which again is her prerogative, but it just kind of falls out of step with what she said previously. And then, there's her monogram with the crown on it, but then she's kind of an influencer, which she has the right to earn money, but it just looks a bit jarring going, having the royal stamp on it. So, I just see it all as a bit of an identity crisis. I think that's at the core of the issue.
After the Queen died, she named her son Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. I mean, she got that title for those children. I don't know. She's in a strange world, really, because she's using that title because it's not from a great acting career. She's known. It's for marrying into the royal family, and she's using that. But you know what? The videos they made, they got millions for that. The book, they're just, I suppose, looking for more and more ways to make lots of money.
Well, that has been branded tacky, the fact that you're just looking at ways to make money and putting pictures of your children on Instagram.
It's probably tacky here, but in America, it's not probably the same. I mean, in America, it's all money-driven, everything. But here, it's, we probably think it's a bit tacky and probably don't think it's the right thing to do. But in America, maybe, if Gwyneth Paltrow is doing it, Meghan's doing it, and they do well, probably get some other film star come along and do something similar. But, I'm not a big fan of Meghan's, but, she's getting off and backside and doing something with her life. She's trying to make a go of things, and whether it succeeds or not, she's had a go. Now, I saw that. I said last time I was on the show that, I watched the first one of that series about the cooking, and it was boring. For me, it was very boring. But for some people, it might have been really interesting, and they couldn't wait for the next one and the next one. And probably in America, we're not looking at it through their eyes. That's probably, they think that's a good thing. She's out there, she's working hard and making money. What I worry is, where's Harry in all this? We don't see him doing anything. He's not involved in any of it. He just seems to be wandering around, probably feeding his chickens. I don't know what he's doing all day long.